Today we're walking through Genesis 1:1. We'll get to the Hebrew after a short introduction, so stay tuned.
In the beginning, God. You could almost stop right there. Any discussion, any meaningful discussion of the Bible must begin with an understanding that God is the one telling the story. But wait, you say, I thought Moses was telling the story, or Isaiah, or some other prophet, or the gospel writers. How about good old Paul? Sure, their voices are heard. They are a part of the story. But perhaps you can understand what I'm saying better if you have ever watched a movie. In every movie, it is ultimately the director who tells the story. Yes, he uses the voices of actors, real people playing the role as they see fit. For those wanting to take a more active role in God's story, one of the first and best ways to get to know the great director better is to look at the book of his writing in the language it was given to us originally. That is what we are going to do. So, where should we start?
How about there? Well, here we are. We're going to walk through Genesis 1:1 today. I'm here at the seashore because it just seemed like a reasonable place to start our journey over the deep. So, the first verse of Genesis in Hebrew is Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim va'et haaretz. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim va'et haaretz. Let's walk through that together. Starting out, I just want to make a couple of notes about the Hebrew language itself. Anytime you're doing translation, you should know, of course, your own language, but you should know something about the language that you're looking at as your source language. So Hebrew, I shouldn't have to say this. I'm just going to say it. It's because it's so super obvious that sometimes we just don't say the super obvious. English and Hebrew are completely different. I'm not even talking about the shapes of the letters. I'm not talking about the direction that you write. The language itself does not work the way English does. So, if you're somebody that is looking for the direct one-to-one correlation, I want one English word for one Hebrew word. No. Sorry, you're not going to get that. And I think that will become clear as we go along and look at this stuff. Okay? So, the first word in Genesis, Bereshit, right off the bat, that's the first written word, but we've already encountered one of the ways that Hebrew is different than English. Bereshit is actually what we would consider to be two words. In and beginning. So, b, just that letter by itself, that sound by itself, b, that is a prefix, which all by itself means in. So we've got b, in, and reshit. B-reshit, bereshit. Reshit is the beginning. So, or beginning. See, that I already messed up. The is not part of it. The word we say in the beginning, there is no the. Bereshit is in beginning. So that's what we're dealing with. So we've already got in the beginning. The isn't really there. Now, it's perfectly correct to say in the beginning. I'm not going to say, ha-ha, we found you. No, in the beginning is correct. But the way translation works, and the way Hebrew in particular works, there can be more than one way to express something, and there can actually be more than one meaning in these words. So we'll get to that in the end. Our second word, or let's say the root of Reshit is Rosh. Rosh, this is your Rosh, your head. So right away we have, in the beginning, we have the head of the whole thing. So, Bereshit, right at the head. So you could even translate it at the head or at the start. Okay, that would be fair. Next word, bara. Bereshit bara. Bara means creation. That's to create. That's where we get, in the beginning, God created. Of course, the word order is a little different in Hebrew. Bereshit bara Elohim. In the beginning, created God. So that's the way Hebrew has the word order. And, bara actually talks about initiating something that hasn't happened before, or that hasn't been there before. So, initiating something new. So in many passages, we have it just like that. So it makes sense that it's translated as create. What are some of the new things that bara brings about? Well, of course, in this passage, we have the big one, creation itself. In Exodus 34:10, God says he will do marvels such as not have been bara in all the earth or in any nation. In Isaiah 65:17, he says, God says he will bara a new heavens and a new earth. So these are things that haven't been seen before, or haven't been there before, at least not that way. So bara really is initiating something new. So it's fair to say create. And even to completely renew. How about that? So in Psalm 51:10, the psalmist entreats God to bara in him a new heart. So even there, you've got some kind of creation. It's something, initiating something new. I need it to be better. I need it to be really new. So there's bara.